Welcome guys to the next installment of my video file. As you may have read from my website, the latest acquisition for the collection is a Jaguar X350 that was previously owned by the Governor of Gibraltar. It's a one-owner vehicle, and although it's in very good tidy condition, it's in need of a little bit of a strip down and a clean up. I'll show you the vehicle now and we can go from there. Okay, there she is. She's now sitting on registration number G6825E. Previously, because it was a ministerial car, it didn't have a registration number, it just had the crown on there. I think they had a number for it was G50 when the car wasn't being used by the governor, if it was taken for service, etc., whatever. I'll just have a little walk around her now. You can see it's quite shiny. I don't know whether you can see from the video, but there's a few swirly marks on the bonnet, just from years of polish. And, I don't know whether you can see that. Let me see if I can get to a position where you can see a dent in the bonnet there. But apparently if you leave it out in the sun, they pop out because they've been an aluminium body. Just to give you a little bit of background, it's a Jaguar Sovereign long wheelbase, 2005 registered in June, but it was pre-delivery inspected and handed over in December 2004, so I suspect it's a 2004 model. As far as I'm aware, it's completely standard. Wheels were standard. It's very standard. There's the barrel in the background. There's an army shooting range in the background. So as you can see, other than a dent on the bonnet, I've been unable to find any other blemishes. I don't really seem to be able to find any stone chips or anything really. Just go like that. This is a technological leap from what I'm used to. Previously, the newest Daimler that I owned was the XJ40, which was at the start of the computer revolution with its low voltage switchgear, etc. This is like a whole leap ahead of that. So it's going to be a technical challenge for me because of all the sensors and electronics that's an integral part of these modern cars. Say modern, comparatively. ECU controls pretty much everything on this car. Like I say, sensors and all sorts of stuff everywhere. One or two problems that were reported to me when I bought the vehicle. One, it said that the throttle body needed replacing, and two, that the air suspension shock absorber gaiters were split. So there's a couple of items there that need some attention. The other day took off the bellows. I'll show you now. Took off the bellows for the between the air filter and the throttle body to have a little look inside the throttle body to see what I could see. Now, something of note here. I mean, we all strive to get low mileage vehicles. This one, as perhaps hopefully you can see there, in its 12 years of existence has covered a grand total of 21,733 kilometres. Which on the face of it is fantastic, which, you know, it is fantastic. But the problem with that is, and And the problem with ministerial vehicles is that it's averaged about 600 miles a year, I think, something like that. But there's many hours of running in that 12 years where the car has sat ticking over, waiting for some ministerial person or another to finish in some pageant or meeting or something or other. So I suspect that there's a lot of choking up involved. Now, here we have our wonderful V8 3.5 litre engine, by the way, non-supercharged, because it's just a Jaguar Sovereign model. And here we are, this is the bellows that I was talking about, that's our MAF sensor. And we've got some breathe pipes that run from each bank of the V8. This one here runs from this bank to the front of the throttle body, and this one on the other side, which has got the, I think it's an EGR valve, something like that, goes to the inlet side of the throttle body, which is just underneath this plastic cover. I'll show you a little bit more about that when I actually do something with the airflow throttle body. So I took this off and I had a look inside the throttle body. It's just inside there. I opened the butterfly and there's probably 2 or 3 millimeters of black carboned gungy stuff all inside the throttle body, which may be something to do with the error code that is throwing up, which I don't know just yet because I don't have my error code machine at this moment in time. So I'm not going to pursue it at this moment until I can get a proper scan tool and figure out what codes it's throwing, and I can investigate further. But needless to say, I've got a funny feeling, a very strong feeling, that the throttle body needs to come off and it needs to be cleaned. A couple of areas of concern here are that if that's the state of the throttle body, there's a good chance that that carbon and all that gunge has gone into the plenum. So maybe I might have to take the plenum off and do a bit of a clean-up job inside there, which is a little bit more of an involved job because there's some gaskets on the plenum side to intake manifolds, which apparently a little bit prone to leakages, and the replacement gasket set's a considerable amount of money. What, $200 I think it is, £200 maybe, just for the 8 gaskets. So just need to do a little bit more research there. I think I'll take the throttle body off and have a look downwind, if you like, of the throttle body and see what sort of state the plenum's in. That's one of the areas of concern. The other one is that in the manual, in the Jaguar service manual, it states that the throttle body shouldn't be cleaned due to the fact that it's coated in some special butterfly, in the inside of the throttle body is coated with some sort of special lining. So again, speaking to the Jaguar dealership here in Gibraltar, which granted is perhaps not the most knowledgeable in the world, but they say they've cleaned them before and it's not been a problem. So I think as a starting place it would be a good idea to clean that manually first, because it's about £200 for a new throttle body. So we'll see what goes on there. Obviously there's little bits of, this is all sort of dirty and 12 years of dust and grime and stuff, so all these plastics will have to come off, clean up all the, well, this is all a bit dusty, all these need to dusty, covered in scummies. The car's been garaged most of its life, but obviously it needed to have gone out if it was needed for its duties in the rain or whatever weather. So there's a little bit of a build-up of dried water and stuff around the bonnet area and under the engine bay, although it looks nice and clean because of all the plastic covers, but we'll see what happens when we start taking a few of those off. Again, like I say, technically a little bit more difficult because, well, you can't just start taking things off these cars without it affecting ECU in some way and throwing a code or whatever. This driver's seat's showing a little bit of wear. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's wear. I think it's more like the stain out of the black trousers which the chauffeurs had to wear more than anything else, because it doesn't appear to be actually worn. I think it's just stained, so that needs some sort of good cleaning. As you can see here, you see this sort of staining. And again, like, you know, nicely polished black shoes for work are great, but they don't help when you're getting in and out of the car. You get marks like this. There's a little bit of a ding in the passenger door panel, which I'm not happy about. I'll take you around and have a closer look at that. That needs to be changed, but I've got a feeling it's probably the entire panel. Another problem here with the old Jaguar headlining, as you can see, starting to come down. I've been in touch with somebody regarding a new one. People who specialise in Jag headlinings, and funnily enough, they've not been asked for a 350 headlining before, but he's in the process of making them because he's starting to get asked for them now as they're starting to get a bit older. In the back, it's got the bench seat because it's a Sovereign, but it was sort of fully loaded when it was ordered because of what it was used for, and it does have the infotainment centre in the back, which all seems to be functioning on the face of it. Nice black carpets, all in lovely condition. Not a lot of sign of wear there. Getting a few black marks. The problem with a white or ivory interior, whatever it's called, it gets a few scuff marks on it, so that's going to need to be sorted out. I need to research a proper, reasonably strong detergent to clean that. I noticed in here I've already hoovered them out quite a bit, but it's a little bit of a design flaw, that, because there's a gap down there and little bits of seeds and stuff off trees fall in there. I've already cleaned them out a bit, but needed to be done because we don't want those hanging around there. Side door, it's all good. A bit of a stain on the carpet there. We'll just see if we can get that one out. Inside here we have CD player and sat-nav. Woohoo, sat-nav! Wow, such a luxury. And again, as you can see here, I've took these plastic trimmers off here, and you can see there's quite a bit of dirt in there that all needs to be sorted out. Same on this side. This needs to be cleaned up. A bit of wear on here. It's probably the boots got used for quite a bit for putting all overnight bags for visiting ministers and stuff in here. Underneath, space saver wheel, battery. I've had a few little issues with that. I'll report on that later. Other than that, it's all pretty good. Aluminium, of course, so not much chance of a lot of rust. And oh, there we are. There's a chip. Look, found one. Which all nice, just need cleaning up again. Got scuffs on there, needs sorting out. Back of the seat there, down there. This is somebody's pierced something in there. Somebody's tried to put a bit of glue on it to stick it on, but I've got a feeling that is an entire door trim panel. So have to do a bit of research there and find out what's going on. Even though the mileage is so low, it's been serviced every year by the Jaguar dealership, initially in Jerez, in Spain, but before there was a Jaguar dealer here in Jib. Now, since then, it's service every year through the Jaguar dealership, so it's got lots of service stamps. Apparently the oil they took out of it was good enough to put back in another car, but hey ho. That's what you have to do if you want to maintain a Jaguar service history. Change it irrespective of how many miles it's done. You can see this little gap down here, see how bits stick in it? So, a bit of a design flaw I suppose, but then again, I don't suppose anybody who buys these cars particularly bothered about that. Anyway, so there she is. The plan obviously is to change the number, and being the 7th Series XJ as opposed to the 3rd Series XJ, then we're going to go for the 351, symbolising the original Daimler that this whole collection was based on, with a 7, so it's going to have G3517 on her as soon as I can muster up the money to get the number plate. And there she is, the old Governor's Jag, part of the Daimler XJ collection. She's not a Daimler, but she's a special Jag, so she deserves a place in the collection. Okay, see you next time.